So if you have gone through all the material so far and can answer the questions given at the end of each chapter, you are more than ready to face bank interviews. Okay, the material we have covered is exhaustive, comprehensive, and care has been taken to ensure that no topic is left out. In fact, it is very hard to think of any topic relevant to banking and economy that can be asked beyond what we have presented here. However, a few points to note. Most of you who cleared IBPS and are appearing for interviews are likely to be applying for the post of probationary officer. For such applicants, whatever we have covered in this book is more than sufficient. You need not refer any other material. But besides PO, there are some specialized positions that banks recruit, such as financial analysts, technical officers, RDOs, marketing officers, IT officers, legal officers. So for such posts, first cover the material in this book. Then in addition to that, you have to also prepare for specific area of your domain, such as finance or engineering, or marketing or IT or agriculture. Okay. So discussing also all those areas is beyond the scope of this book. But if you are applicant from MBA Finance or Commerce and you are applying for positions such as financial analyst or chartered accountant in bank, then we have a separate book titled Balance Sheet Analysis and Credit Appraisal for Bankers that covers all areas pertaining to financial analysis in banks. In fact, that is a book that is used by a lot of practicing credit analysts working in Indian banks. We also have video lectures covering that material. So consider that book and videos if you need assistance for preparing for finance jobs in banks such as credit analysts, financial analysts, and chartered accountants. So while we have covered all topics pertaining to the field of banking, bank interview is also a personal one-to-one interaction. So the interview panel will also ask you some basic questions about yourself. So those questions you have to be prepared. Like say for example, they might ask you private sector banks offer higher salary. Why do you want to join a public sector bank? They might ask you what do you know about our bank? Who is this bank CMD? How is our bank doing? What do you think the areas we are lagging behind? Why should we hire you? Or what are your strengths? Why should we hire you over other applicants? What would you do if after joining this bank you get an offer for double the salary to another bank? What is your greatest achievement in life so far? Have you attended any interview before? What was your experience there? Do you have leadership skills? Tell me an example when you demonstrated leadership skills. How do you deal with pressure or stressful situations? What would you do if you have an argument with a colleague? What are your hobbies? They might also ask you, do you have any questions for us after your interview is over? They would ask you what are your salary requirements? Are you acceptable for frequent transfers? Tell us 5 words that others use to describe you. All these are personal questions. Tell us a mistake you committed in your life. Will you work on holidays and weekends? How will you handle an angry customer? Tell us about a book you have read recently. Tell us about a film you have watched recently. Which is your favorite website and where you spend a lot of time? Which newspaper do you read? Which financial newspaper do you read? What is today's headline? You please rate me as an interviewer. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate me as an interviewer. So these are some personal questions they can ask you. So besides whatever we have discussed in the general sense, you also need to update it with the latest and contemporary issues. So each day brings new issues. For some weeks there will be some prominent issue that is in focus. You have to know such issues well. So when you're going to interviews, what I suggest is you, on that particular day, you read the newspaper headline and front page thoroughly. For the past 1 week before the interview, you read the headlines of all the major newspaper, okay, and financial newspaper. At least the headline and the front page. So you'll get an idea what are the important major issues that are happening in that week. Then what you do is for the past 1 month, you go to internet and read the editorials of a general newspaper, say like Hindu, and a business newspaper like Business Line or Business Standard or Economic Times. Editorials usually write on articles that are most important news of that period. So if you read 1 month editorials, those 30 articles, you'll quickly understand the key issues of the last 1 month. Okay, so you can just go to the website of those newspapers under archives. There'll be a section called archives. There you can see the past editorials. Okay, in particular, go through news related to banking sector. All newspapers have websites. So if you go to a website, you'll have an option to search by tags like banking. So search for all articles with banking tag in any business newspaper for the past 2 to 3 months. And also, very important, go to the bank's website which you're attending interview and know details such as founder of the bank, year in which it is founded, key persons like CMD, AD, head office, number of branches, number of customers, various products offered, what is the present interest rate, brand ambassadors if any, all these questions. So if you do the above, you can confidently handle any bank interview. I wish you all the best in your career and future efforts. I really wish to See you become a bank officer one day and have a bright career. Best wishes from me.